We are back to our show again. Good morning, Kuwait. We're moving for our first interview segment. The contribution of Kuwaiti youth transcends borders, making a meaningful impact on a global scale, whether through the volunteer work, entrepreneurship, endeavor, artistic, even expressions, or even advocacy efforts. Kuwaiti youth are actively engaged in various initiatives that resonate internationally. So let's welcome today Dr. Meshari AlMutairi. He's the environmental consultant. Hello, doctor, and good morning.
Hello, Aziz. Good morning, and good morning to everybody who's watching us right now.
You're most welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on our show, Good Morning Kuwait. We can say welcome back.
Thank you.
You had already great things to do in the Kingdom of Bahrain, our brotherly Kingdom of Bahrain. We're going to discuss further about what's happening there. But first of all, because as we are investing, you are with us today in the studio, we'll talk about the importance of the innovation to develop any society. What do you want to say in this topic?
Actually, this is a very critical question. So we need to put in our minds what's the goal or what's the benefit and the advantage of the innovations. Right now, we need to believe that there is a high potential regarding for the innovation. It can solve any challenges that we are going to face. And especially right now, I think this is the right time to increase the awareness regarding for the innovations, regarding for the research, and how we can implement and adopt this kind of innovation and initiative as well in the reality. For example, we are facing a lot of challenge regarding for the environmental challenge. For example, the increasing of carbon footprint, and or like the air emissions or like contamination of the soil, whatever we have. So right now, this is the right time to increase awareness about the research and how we can let the research or the innovation facing the challenges and overcome these kind of challenges.
Nice. This will come about in general about, thank you so much for elaborating an important topic to our viewers. So now we'll talk about your expert as like an environmental consultant. So this innovation, how it's like it plays a huge and a crucial role for the environment.
So right now, actually, we need to believe about the research. We need to believe about what's the benefit in R&D or R&T.
Okay.
Actually, there is two different field if we are talking about R&T, which is research and development, or we are talking about R&T, research and technologies. Right now, we are talking about the environmental. There is a lot of challenges. There is a lot of issues. It's created in every single day. And the challenge that we are facing today will be absolutely different about the challenge that we are going to face in the futures. Therefore, we need to make a lot of research. We need to increase as well and acknowledge and support like any kind of innovation which could be help and support like the challenge that we are going to face.
Nice.
For example, I don't know how long we have time.
Take your time, doctor.
So for example, the kind of contamination that we have, especially if we are talking about the soils.
Okay.
So right now we are the first country in the whole world who receive like competitions regarding for the environmental challenges.
Okay.
We receive around 3 billion from the United Nations. And one of the big disasters that we haven't done any treatment since 1991. Therefore, the kind of the contamination that we have has become more withered, more like complicated to be treated. Therefore, we need to adopt a lot of R&D, a lot of research to face this kind of hydrocarbon, how we can treat it, how we can like overcome these kind of the complications of the hydrocarbons. This is one of the challenge. For example, we have another challenge with the waste management. We have a big we are not adopting like the artificial intelligence in the waste management.
Okay.
So right now we need to increase the awareness and we need like to support the youth, people, especially the Kuwaiti young, about how the research can be like supportive and how the research can be solve these kind of challenges, especially if we are talking about the waste management. Therefore, if we are talking about the innovation and the challenges and how we can adapt each other,
yes.
Yeah, you know, it's a huge topic. Yes, huge topic. Yeah.
Nice, and thank you for elaborating this important topic. Now we'll talk about the visit of you and the students to the Kingdom of Bahrain. I know you've been like there. Have too many discussions had already held, and like it was a huge impact because of the innovation in the environment. Can you share to the viewers about the reason of this visit?
Okay, first of all, we need to appreciate like the petrol, تطوير petrol in Bahrain Kingdom, and also the Council of the Environmental authority in Bahrain as well,
Yes.
for their kind invitations to discuss about the initiative ideas and to discuss about the potential of implement a pilot project to treat the oily contaminated soil in Bahrain. Actually, like yesterday, we had done like a couple of meetings with like the decision maker in petrol in Tatweer Petrol.
But well, there in Kingdom of Bahrain.
In Kingdom of Bahrain, and they give us like a different kind of sample, which is the oily contaminated soil, and the contaminated over there is age around 8 to 7 years.
Okay.
Okay, it's not like the one we have it in Kuwait, which is around 35 or 32 years. Okay, so therefore, actually, based on the preliminary study that we had conducted over there, it seems to us there is a huge potential to solve the challenges that they are facing. And the good things, to be honest, right now they give us the trust for the youth GCCs, especially like this talk, honestly, like before, like 20 or 10 or 5 years ago, if any young people, especially I'm talking about any GCC from any like youth person.
Any GCC from any youth in any GCC.
In any GCC, you know, it's so hard to believe in his research. It was so hard to believe in his idea. But right now, I think based on the huge effort that the youth GCC is offered during the last 5 years, they give us like a good opportunities to discuss about the potential and whatever we have in our mind to implement in the field. Therefore, when we met them and we already signed NDA with them to treat the oily contaminated soil in Bahrain.
Nice.
And right now we are going to conduct a pilot very soon, inshallah, within the next month.
Nice. And this is like the way how you're saying, and even our working crew preparing in the 3 books, some shots and snapshots about the visit and the team you've been there in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So let's talk more about the project, like you and also the students present there. Can you tell us more about whom especially you present the project?
Okay, first of all, there is an idea. It has came to my mind like before 5 years ago,
Okay.
which is how we can treat the oily contaminated soil using environmental friendly.
Okay.
I remember like before 5 years ago when I tried to spoke with the people who is in charge, you know, it's difficult to convince them, especially right now. At that time, there are a lot of like export companies.
Yes.
They went to the field and they mentioned this kind of a treatment is so challenging and never to be happened. And I remember at that time, you know, we convinced them to conduct a pilot.
Okay.
And the good news, the pilot was successful.
Nice.
And the pilot was approved as environmental friendly. And right now, the thing which is, I'm so proud that this kind of treatment or technology is expanded, not even to Kuwait, it's expanded to KSA, Saudi Arabia, and also in Bahrain, and also we went to Oman. And right now, actually, the good things that before 5 years it was only Meshari, and
Okay.
right now we have
Team.
you
With
know,
Meshari.
with Meshari, and all of them they create their own idea. All of them they create their own machines. Basically, the machine it's already patented in USA. It
Okay.
has like 3 patents, 1 in GCC and 2 in US. And the main idea is trying to remove the oily contaminated soil from the soil without using any surfactant, without using any detergents or chemical. By water, we can extract all the oils.
Okay.
And this process is especially for the oily sand or the contaminated soil. It's not like the virgin sand, which is the sand used for construction. You are a civil engineer, I think you are more expert than me.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
so the kind of this technology is expert regarding for the oily or the contaminated soil, and the NDA has been signed, and the pilot will be contacted inshallah next month.
Amazing. This is the most important, like you mentioned to the viewers watching us through the KTV2. The good thing, you showed the steps in the first visit, now the result in the last visit. It shows like how much the progress in the GCC countries will cause about the environmental and even oil sector. The students who already traveled with you, how do you see their capabilities and their skills, doctor? I know that we call them the future leaders or the future engineers. How do you see their skills?
To be honest, I remember like when I met them like a year ago,
Okay.
and I spoke with them. I told them right now I'm going to candidate for you kind of a project. I consider this project as my son. I like it a lot, you know,
Yes,
because
I know you.
I have like a lot of experience with this project like since 5 years ago.
Nice.
But I told him you need to be like capable to face all the challenge that we are going to face. At that time, you know, I was in doubt, you know, maybe they are not capable to face these challenges. But alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, when we went to Bahrain and I saw their motivations and I saw how long they spent on the lab to make the sand from oily sand or blacky sand and become as beachy sand without using any chemical. I was so proud, to be honest. Yani, before 5 years, I was only Meshari, and the idea is so hard to be believed. And right now we have almost like more than 55. They are believing on these technologies, and this technology has expandable, and this technology is not even for Kuwait, it's went to all, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, let's say 5 or 3 in the GCC's countries.
Nice. This is like we call it the capabilities of the students. I know like how like you are all much dedicated. I see already the working group preparing some snapshot about the students and how they are already get motivated, how they are doing something for the sake for their country, state of Kuwait. Now we'll go back about different topic. Our guest, we are investing. You are with us today in the studio. Let's talk about the oil sectors in general. We'll talk about the global now. How affect the innovation and the invention of the oil sector reflect to the global challenges now? I know like as an environmental consultant, we saw too many change of the environment during the last 3-4 years. Oil sector, how do you see it in the future?
Okay, this is a very critical question. So I have like a lot of example. I don't know from where to start. So let's say give you like one of the example which happened in Saudi Arabia. Okay, they have like a lot of open pit landfill. Actually, they have a lot of landfills. Before like 10 years ago, they are targeting like to take all the industrial wastewater, and put it in big lagoon and lift it to be evaporated by itself. And this technology or this waste is already approved since like the last 30 or 40 years back. And right now they communicate with me. They told me, Meshari, I think this is the time for you now. We need from you to see any innovation technology. We don't want like to open like a landfill and close it after 5 or 6 years and trying to find any other land. So their mentality and their target has been changed. They need to treat the landfill and make each landfill is sustainable, never to be closed, you know. And this is actually give us like a hint what the people they are targeting for. They are believing in technology. They are believing on the environmental technology can be save the community, and it's make like the economic growth by believing the sustainability. It's can like believing about the community by providing a job. It's believing about like the environmental by saving like the amount of the waste which is produced by reducing this waste and treat the waste. So right now in Saudi Arabia, for example, we suggested a lot of technology. We implement a couple of technology to them to reduce the amount of the water, the industrial wastewater they received, and we treat the water over there, and the water which is treated has been used for agriculture. This is one of the initiative.
Dr. Meshari AlMutairi, the topics you share to the viewers watching us through the KTV2, I know it's very precious because the way you talk, the way you share it is from your heart and from your own research. We can say all the time, Dr. Meshari AlMutairi, good times run very fast. We didn't fill the time. Thank you so much for joining us. For sure, you will be here again. We'll talk about different things for the sake for the environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So, special thanks and appreciation to our guest, Dr. Meshari AlMutairi. He's the environmental consultant. Now we'll talk about different aspects. At the summit of Everest, climbers experience the moment of the success and the pride in achieving their ultimate goal.